Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. says he didn't do any strength and conditioning or ab work leading up into the Mikey Garcia fight. Stay tuned, coming up next.
Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, shouts out to my brother Fred, Barbershop Conversations, as he did an exclusive interview with the IBF welterweight champion, undefeated, Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. And I watched the interview a couple of times, man. Errol Spence had a few interesting things to say. One thing that jumped out at me that I wanted to talk about was the fact that he didn't use any strength and conditioning or do any ab work, nor did he change his sparring partners for any of his fights. But leading up into the Mikey Garcia fight, he did no strength and conditioning for the fight, and he did no ab work. He said he did ab work maybe 1 or 2 times the entire camp. We saw Mikey Garcia was focused on doing ab work because he felt like that was an area he needed to strengthen due to the body attack that Errol Spence presents. You know, so Mikey Garcia felt like he had to focus on doing his abs, as Errol Spence, ironically enough, didn't even do strength and conditioning, nor did he do so he didn't use any ab work. He didn't do any strength and conditioning leading up into the Mikey Garcia fight. And he stated that he wanted to show the world that he just could outbox Mikey Garcia. He's just not a come forward slugger. You know, he's just not a pressure fighter. He's very versatile, and he has a lot of tools in the toolbox, and he just wanted to display that to the world. He said he didn't focus on his strength and conditioning at all. He didn't do ab work at all. All he did was do roll work. We know that a lot of people focus on Errol Spence's physique, his appearance, you know, and they state that he's a 160-pounder, things of that nature. Ironically enough, in his interview, he said that he could definitely go up to 160 and fight Canelo Alvarez. He says that, yeah, I'm definitely could do 160 at times, you know, depending on how I approach training camp. You know, it's a struggle to make 147. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not, depending on how I feel going into training camp. Then he stated that, you know, he never ever switches his sparring partners. Stated that, you know, the only sparring partners he uses are the same ones he used when he turned professional. Wow. You know, so, you know, that's interesting to say the least. He said even if he fighting a southpaw, you know, he keeps his normal sparring partners, orthodox sparring partner. He said it's more about his timing. It's more about him than it is his opponents, you know, and as long as he focuses on himself, then his opponents should be easy pickings. You know, he doesn't have to worry about his opponents. You know, he more concerned with his timing, you know, his accuracy, him, you know, and I find that real interesting to say the least, man, because when you start to step up in competition, I think that, you know, you would want to get a look of your opponent, you know. Would this be something that backfires on Errol Spence Jr.? One only knows, you know, only time will tell. But at the moment, you know, it's not, you know, it's not a glaring weakness. You know, it's just interesting of an approach for me, in my opinion, in my mind, when I heard this, you know, a lot of people talk about him being out of shape in between, you know, fights. And he stated that, you know, sometimes it is a struggle for him to get down, you know, to 47. He stated that, you know, people don't realize that he's dehydrated even when he's 160 pounds. He said he could still be dehydrated, you know, when he's 160 pounds, 157 pounds, due to the fact that the IBF have a 10-pound weight limit, 24-hour weight limit after you weigh in. So he stated that, you know, sometimes it is a struggle to get to 147. You know, I find it very interesting, man. I think that, you know, me personally, I would much rather have Errol Spence a little more, you know, locked in when it comes to in-between fights, you know, and I would like to see, you know, but who am I, you know? Sometimes I think that, you know, practice makes perfect. So if you have you're getting different looks in sparring, makes for perfection, but to this point, nobody has highlighted any weaknesses in Errol Spence. He said that in the Sean Porter fight, he's going to absolutely destroy Sean Porter. Say he's going to get him out of there. He said Sean Porter, he wouldn't even look to fight Sean Porter if Sean Porter didn't have a belt. Wow, so it's interesting to say the least, man. But he going into such a high-profile fight with Mikey Garcia, and you don't even do strength and conditioning, nor do you do ab work. That just goes to show, the level of athlete that Errol Spence is. But after so much time, Father Time starts to kick in, and those things start to slip, and you have to make adjustments. So I think we saw the likes of Roy Jones. Roy Jones had all the athletic ability, all the talent in the world, but when that talent started to slip, and because he didn't perfect another area of his craft, we started to see him get knocked out by guys that didn't even have a name. Early and more frequent, you started to see Roy Jones get knocked out because he didn't perfect a different part of his game. He didn't perfect one thing. He didn't perfect the jab. He just relied on athletic ability. And when your reflexes and athletic ability start to slip without you knowing, all of a sudden, then you have a problem if you haven't perfected it in a different area. And so Errol Spence getting out of shape in between fights, maybe he don't plan to stick around 147 too much longer. But I much rather that Errol Spence be more committed, in between fights. Not that he's not committed, but just to, give yourself more looks. He said he's stuck with, what's got him there to this point, and I understand that. He said that, he doesn't switch sparring partners because he just doesn't need to, But I the sport of boxing always, traditionally, we like tradition, and he doesn't do it by tradition. So, normally you bring in sparring partners that give you the look of your opponent. But Errol Spence said, listen, I don't do that. There's no need to do that. So let's see how far this takes him. It's interesting to say the least. He said that he's never ever done a full strength and condition camp going into a fight. He said he stops about 4 weeks into the fight anyway. I would expect him to do that because I'm sure doing strength and conditioning has to be taxing on the body. The sport of boxing alone, the workout alone, the grind, the pounding the pavement and putting your roll work in and hitting the heavy bag, that takes a toll on the body in itself. So not to mention, doing adding strength and conditioning on top of that, has to make it, taxing even more taxing on the body. It's a good thing to add, but like he stated, he doesn't do it. He stops 4 weeks out before the fight anyway. He stops his strength and conditioning, so it's not like he goes through a whole camp using strength and conditioning. But he said he's definitely going to use it for the Sean Porter fight. He says that going into the Sean Porter fight, he's definitely going to use it. He says he's going to link up with his trainer, Blu-ray. If you don't know who Blu-ray is his trainer. You can find Blu-ray on YouTube. Check out Blu-ray, man. He got some beautiful workouts, some beautiful methods, man. You can check out Blu-ray. I don't remember his channel offhand, but it's Blu-ray Boxing, I believe, or Blu-ray Strength and Condition. I'm not sure, but I'm sure if you type in Blu-ray, you'll be able to find it. But with that said, he said he's definitely going to use Blu-ray, but he's not going to start with Blu-ray for about 3 to 4 weeks, So he's not happy about doing that, So it's interesting to say the least, man. But, that just goes to show the skill level and the athletic ability Errol Spence possessed. And it's only going to get better, man. Just imagine if he did commit to strength and conditioning for the camp and ab work for the Mikey Garcia fight. He might have stopped Mikey Garcia. Only one knows. But he's definitely going to take a serious approach to Sean Porter. It's not that he don't take a serious approach to any of his opponents. It's just I just found it interesting that he doesn't do strength and conditioning or he doesn't do ab work. Everybody's focused on his abs, But he said in order to get his abs, all he does is pound the pavement. He do his road work. And he don't switch sparring partners ever. He got the same sparring partner since he turned pro to right now. Wow. That's interesting to say the least, man. But with Sean Porter, he's definitely going to take up strength and conditioning. and resume strength and conditioning, should I say. And I'm pretty sure he's going to do his ab work. And he said that he's not going to focus on too many different things due to the fact that, he just feels like he's just a more superior fighter than Sean Porter, point blank and period. So I can't wait, man. He said that this fight, he knows the date. Sean Porter said he wasn't sure of the actual date. He said that he definitely knows the date. The rumored date is September 21st at the Barclays Center. So let's see how this all plays out, man. I can't wait for that fight, man. It's a unification bout, as Sean Porter is the WBC welterweight champion, and obviously Errol Spence is the IBF welterweight champion. Can't wait to see how this fight goes down. Sean Porter has never been blown out in any fight. He has never been stopped in any fight. All his fights have been very, very close. So I can't wait to see how this all plays out, man. So that's all I got for y'all, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hey, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Blue Blood Sport TV, baby, from the